Hi, I'm Professor Dawn Crane, and I'd like to welcome to this short presentation discussing the problems that Health Technology Assessment, or HTA, can help to solve. We live in a changing world, with innovation happening all around us, often faster than some of us can keep up with. I'm sure that most of you have gone into a shop to make a purchase, only to be faced with a plethora of options that all roughly do the same thing. We then mentally, or for some more thoroughly, run through all of those characteristics that differ and make some decisions with our subjective preferences. I'm also sure that we've all made those purchases of a phone or a laptop device, only to have the next version become available just a few months later. And when that happens, we yet again sit down and mentally run through the pros and cons of ditching what we have and pay for the purchase. The health innovation space continuously cycles through this type of activity. There's investment in novel discovery, there's development in the hope of achieving something that works, and then within health, there's a need for that demonstration of safety and efficacy, which will result in some sort of license or form of stamp of approval. That stamp of approval or license means that that innovation can then be sold and purchased, prescribed. This activity normally happens at a country level. But I guess the question is that enough? Should these decisions of what gets picked from that available or licensed pot be subjective, and who should make the decisions? We have increasing healthcare spending, and we have increase in healthcare demand, both of those being driven by an ageing population. We have limited resources, both in terms of the treatments that can be delivered, how they're delivered, who delivers them, and the infrastructure that allows that delivery. And we have a lot of inequality, inequity within that. So HTA offers us another hurdle, another opportunity to make a different decision. The process itself draws together all the relevant evidence on efficacy, effectiveness, safety, health benefits, costs and resources. It can consider patient and public views, practitioners' views. It sometimes considers implementation barriers and facilitators. And most importantly for many, it considers how the new innovation compares to what we already have available. Raising that question, is the innovation of value to our healthcare system and to our patients? If done well and appropriately, it can allow different funding decisions to be made by the system that ensure that the benefit to patients is maximised. It also enables us to underpin guidelines, clinical practice and service organisation and delivery in the most efficient and valuable way. Globally, HTA is usually conducted using very similar methods. However, how it's used and how the results are used to inform decisions differs from country to country, and is often driven by the healthcare system within that country and how that system is funded. Within the UK, for any new medicine looking for market access, the National Institute of Health and Care Excellence act as a gatekeeper, and they used HTA to support that process. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that process, just superficially, so that you can understand what HTA can offer. So to ensure that access to valuable and effective treatments in as early as possible and as close to that marketing authorization as possible by license, we need to make sure the process starts many years before a novel medicine is even licensed. And it all starts with proactive horizon scanning. In the UK, that's currently undertaken by the NIHR Innovation Observatory. And the Innovation Observatory proactively scan that medicine's landscape, looking for any novel medicine that may be available within the next 5 years. They then identify clinical trials and ongoing research into those medicines, and the medicines and their associated indications are tracked for about 3 years. During that tracking and monitoring process, records continuously are updated to make sure that we have the best picture of when that new medicine may land in the UK market as possible. About 2 years from that anticipated date, a technology briefing is developed in collaboration with the company, and that technology briefing is then sent to NICE. This triggers the NICE process. The NICE process is quite complex and very robust. and includes some consultation around the scope and the comparisons, a lot of evidence generation, a lot of consideration of that evidence by committees and experienced clinicians or specialists, and some patient involvement. And finally, after a long process, there's some guidance issued. And this NICE decision-making process, the market authorization, the licensing, and that patient access to that, based on the positive outcome of the NICE decision-making, are all very, very closely aligned in terms of trying. So at the end of that process, the outcome is a recommendation. And the recommendations tend to fall into 5 categories. They either recommend, is optimized, only in research, not recommended, or recommended PhD cancer drugs. I'm not going to provide a lot of information about these recommendations here, but there's lots of information on the NICE website. It's a very transparent process, and I've included the website available onto this presentation. What's important is just to note that once these recommendations have been made, the NHS is legally obliged to fund and resource medicines and treatments that are recommended by these NICE technology appraisals. And within the NHS Constitution, it states that patients have the right to drugs and treatments that have been recommended by NICE for use in the NHS if their doctor believes they have clinical authority. And this only happens for medicines. NICE do make recommendations around medtech and diagnostics, but these are not mandatory in quite the same way. As I said, lots of information on the NICE website, so do go away and have a look. So the NICE HTA, or technology appraisal, is really important within England and Wales, and those mandatory decisions really do inform practice. Hope they don't answer or address all of the relevant questions, and another route to undertake HTA within the UK is by the National Institute of Health and Research funding. One of their largest programs is the HTA program, and they allow us to undertake research about the clinical and cost effectiveness and the broader impacts of healthcare treatments and tests for anyone because to provide receive care from the NHS and social care services. We're usually undertaken where the innovations where evidence exists to show that the technology can be effective, but there still needs to be that comparison with standard treatment to see which works best and which is most valuable. Program undertake research like any interventions or treatment, prevention, or diagnosis of disease where the outcome or findings have the potential to be of direct benefit to patients. So this is very much about looking at evaluations that end up leading to a benefit for patients. Again, this is a really good use of HTA and allows us to get focused on what matters the most, which is maximising the health and well-being of the country people. So that's just a couple of examples of how HTA or technology assessments being used in the UK. And hopefully that will then allow you to see some of the benefits of this technology, taking this type of analysis. It's clear for every medicine or device we need to know whether something works or doesn't work and whether it's safe. However, should you really then be prescribing or implementing things just because they are safe and they work? Putting everything in that big bucket and allowing some subjective choice as to what's chosen. HTA is a tool that really allows us to consider the value of any invention. It provides us with a systematic research process where we can synthesize and evaluate all of the existing evidence. It also allows us to better understand the trade-offs between the clinical and cost effectiveness of that new innovation to support any of the reinvestment decisions. It can allow us to engage with practitioners, patients and public to get them involved in shaping and supporting those decisions so their voice is heard. This can make a real change to help people access and the uptake of those treatments once they're implemented. It also allows us to improve the speed of access and the uptake of these cost-effective innovations and medicines, while making sure that we have real patient benefit. Hopefully, this quick overview has given you some indication as to the true benefits of HTA and what it may help us to overcome in the future. So that was quite a high-level overview of HTA with a couple of quick examples, but no real depth. So I've included here some useful resources that will help you do a bit more reading and a little bit more exploring if you're interested in this area. So the International Network of Agencies for Health Technology Assessment, INAHTA, have a really useful signposting resource on their website. Just generally going to give you a lot of useful information and links to other agencies and organisations working in this space. That can be a good place to find information. I've included the link for the NIHR Innovation Observatory, who undertake horizon scanning for NICE and for many other stakeholders in the UK. Alongside that, the NICE website itself, which has a link to many other aspects of their programmes of work outside of medicine, as well as a lot of information around the steps within that medicines process and their TA process. I've also included a link from the NICE Decision Support Unit. So one of the things that bring it to that long-term doing is trying to ensure that the most robust methods are used in all of these technology assessments, and that there's some consistency in how we apply those methods and how we understand them. So they've got some really nice methodological guidance on their website. And sure, if you're interested in that sort of thing, will be really useful. I hope you found the presentation useful. Bye, PPSC.